Uganda, she can't. Um,
This is being
it's doing
recorded.
it. Are we on? There we go.
Yes.
Okay, now let's see. How do we do this?
Good
Podcast.
morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
I
morning.
wanted to
Hi.
Morning.
start it off with music, but
We're being recorded.
I gotta let everybody
Welcome.
know that what did it say? I'm not licensed.
Yeah, we're not licensed and we're not
I'm
we
not
don't own the
licensed.
rights
I
to
don't
the
own any
music.
rights to this music, so y'all can't jam with us right now. Sorry.
Come on in the room. Let's
Yeah,
give some folks some times to join us. Uh how are you ladies this morning?
I'm doing quite
Doing
well.
awesome. Excited.
Right.
Holidays. I
Awesome.
love it.
Holidays. I do love this time of year, even though I
Yes.
still work. I'm not like some
Oh,
people that shut it down.
No, you can't. This is when you go hard.
Can't shut it down. Can't shut it down.
Don't
Can't shut
stop,
it
won't
down.
have the
stop.
same affinity
Don't
for it.
stop. Won't stop. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Let's see here. Um, nice, nice. If we got anybody to join us, can you all see us? Do you see?
I can see it.
I am. Why did it have me hit a play button? All
Uh,
right.
I don't know.
Uh,
Like I said, Mark, it was acting kind of funny yesterday. But I can't even front. It might have just been user error for real.
oh,
I
on
tried to
the
blame it on Mark, but I was like, yeah, this thing might for real be user error. Um,
oh my God.
yeah, I don't know. So,
Okay. Okay.
but it's
Okay.
all love. We pulled it off. I think it was pretty
Okay.
good. How's everybody's Thanksgiving? We haven't really
Oh yeah,
had
we
it.
haven't been together since
I know.
beginning of all is well, all is good. I dropped it in the okay. I had a good one. I we stayed local. I had some family and friends over. I
I was
think it
one of
was
those
okay.
friends. Thank
You
you.
were one of my friends. Thank you.
Thank you, family, for feeding me.
Feeding her.
Family, yes, yes.
Yeah.
We had a friendsgiving, friends
Uh-huh.
fam. We say that family. Absolutely, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Marquita, did you enjoy the food?
I did. I did. I definitely
Good.
did. I mean, I was up smoothing the leftovers with that junk. I mean, I'm gonna tell
You
you
know,
what,
I
what I'm gonna tell you what shocked me though.
uh
You know,
tell me what shocked you.
that honey baked turkey thing you had. That thing was. I'm not a turkey
Fire.
person,
Me either. Me either. But
but
that
that thing
with
was that was righteous right there. I don't know where y'all got it from, but that was a
a
good
honey
look.
baked ham, which is over off of
Oh, so you get the
230
honey baked turkey
off
from honey baked ham. That's smart.
exactly. That's what we
Yeah.
did. So this year, again, I was like, I'm not doing a turkey because we're not big
Mhm.
turkey people, and it's always hit or miss. It comes
Mhm.
out great, but then you got, the leftovers, dry storage. Nobody really eats a lot of turkey.
Yeah.
So we did the honey baked turkey, and I will do that even throughout the year occasionally
Yeah.
if I have a
Yeah,
taste for it because
that
it's
was worthy
that
of
good.
eating again because I don't have to
But
ever have turkey. I just try it because it's Thanksgiving. Now, a turkey wing, I might could rock
yeah,
with you, but just a
another
turkey.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, another story. Well,
Well,
here's the last thing we did. Oh, I'll say this and I'll jump because it's time to roll. We did Alan did a 15 bean soup this week with the leftover ham bone and all of that.
okay.
That was amazing. And I'm not a huge
Marquita, did you
bean
get a
person.
bowl?
That was good. She
Now, I
didn't. It
ain't get a
wasn't
bowl of
enough.
the 15 bean soup, sis.
And I had a
You know what I'm
corner that
saying?
I was bringing to
Listen,
Christian, and they took it at
way to be my
TSA.
anger translator right there,
Right,
Kitty.
right,
I
right.
was like, that sounds amazing.
It was
But I did
amazing.
get
It
a
was
steak
amazing.
and cheese though, so thank you,
I
Jill.
was. You're
I like
welcome because
15 bean soup. 15 bean soup might not like me. I like 15 bean soup though, but I could see
funny,
a
funny, funny,
situation
funny.
arising.
15 bean
Okay.
soup is good though.
Can anybody see? Do we have anybody on with us? Who's watching this
Absolutely,
with
we
us?
do. But at the end of the day, whether they hear or not, we gotta bring
We're
it
going
like
with
it's
the
hot.
show. Let's drop
Yes.
That's
it like
right.
it's hot. Good morning again. Good morning again. So let's start this party. We didn't get our music. We got to get right with the music
Yeah.
going forward. So in the new year, we're going to have the countdown and new music for everyone to enjoy. Awesome. All right. So this year, what are we talking about? This end of the year, what are we talking about? Hey, Alan is
The
here.
fact that
Welcome.
why is it the end of the year? That's what we're talking about. Jesus Christ.
It flew by.
And I ain't
Um,
gonna front though. I'm about ready for this year to be over. If you with me, throw a like or a heart or something in there. I mean, I ain't trying to rush stuff, but at the same time, yes, I kind of am. So anyway, today we are talking about seeing as how we are into the new year and December is upon us. We're talking
Indeed.
about the local housing predictions, forecasts, and our three opinions about what is going to happen in 2024. So that is what we're kicking off this episode
right.
of Two Ketas and a Shot of Gin, and we
Shot of
definitely
gin.
appreciate you all tuning in. So all right, let's
Thank you.
get it. Let's get it. So
All right.
yeah, thank you,
Peter,
Alan, for being here.
we
It's
appreciate
like
you.
that Facebook post that, says that to all my friends that like and share what y'all want for Christmas. What you want for Christmas, Alan, because you are the real MVP.
The MVP, Alan
Yes,
Dorn,
we
who
appreciate
is
you.
also the person who made those 15 bean soup and
I
is
know.
a phenomenal cook.
He might get a 15 bean knock at the door in a minute for real. After this over.
Replay.
I know where you live, Alan.
There isn't anymore. It's gone.
Hey,
And it was
oh, look at that. I would like the recipe, sir. Thank you. So anyway, this has been a interesting time as we wrap up this year and moving into next year. I feel like it's been quite the roller coaster. So I feel like we need to give some backstory before we even jump on what we think the local forecast looks like moving into the new year. I mean, basically, we started January of 2023 with the thought process that home prices had bottomed out. Finally, the craziness of the unicorn pandemic years had flatlined. Prices had bottomed out. The media headlines was that there was going to be a market crash coming in 2023. So that's where we started in January of 2023 with this type of information. And then February, I will say a little bit of hell broke loose because interest rates started to increase even more, scaring some people onto the sidelines. So we had rates jump up all of a sudden, almost double. So you literally went from 3.75 to bam, here is 6 point whatever, here's 7. And that did cause a initial knee-jerk reaction, which is normal, right? So we had some normal time as far as that, people adjusting to this is the market that we're in. However, we fast forward past this time, and I'm still waiting on the market to crash. It never
and
did.
Prices to bottom. Yeah.
I'm waiting on the prices to bottom. So locally, that has not happened. You had some of the big prognosticators who had these headlines. That would be Zillow. That would be your Mortgage Bankers Association, who I'm a part of. That would be even Case Shiller, which is supposed to be, I hear, the gold standard of data. Everybody revised their forecast.
Everyone.
About what they
even know
thought
what
was
was
going to
happening.
happen with houses. So they revised their forecast. Oh, my bad, folks. It's not going to crash. Actually, it's going up. Gotcha. So that's kind of what happened for the most part of this year. So it never did crash. Prices continue to accelerate, and not accelerate, but they did not decline and crash. But prices continue to go up, even if it was at a slower pace than what we saw during the pandemic. So understandably so, right? So that's fast forward us up to September, which I guess would round out the third quarter. September would round out the third quarter. September, which, the greatest month of all months, because that's when my birthday is, but I digress. So anyway, so September rolls up, and then in October, we get the gut punch. Mortgage rates with handles in the 7.5% to 8%. We talked about it here on the show, and it paralyzed everyone because it had reached an all-time low of affordability locally, nationally. Now, still has not made it crash, but affordability was at an all-time low. If you just don't psychologically feel like you can afford something, you're just not going to move forward. So that is kind of bringing us to where we are right now. The market has not crashed, but we are at least seeing that 8% is off the books.
Off the table.
So I wanted
That's
to
off the
preface
table.
that if anybody wanted to chime in on where we've been and now where we think we're going. These are our predictions, what we forecast to see, and we know how predictions can actually be. We just saw Zillow, major NBA, and everybody revise their predictions about what they think is going to happen. I know one thing for sure that I'm like, you can go ahead and record it. I know one thing for sure that I feel like is going to happen, but I'll share that later. Ladies, you want to chime in?
Kita, I'm just going to piggyback off what you said. Zillow and everyone now are just basically predicting that home sales are definitely going to continue to grow, and that the affordability, there hopefully will be a little bit more options for affordability, but and more so, we're going to see more rentals right now because the market is just that, like you said, it's not going to crash. Values are not. We're going to probably see more of a little more balanced. And Markita, again, I'm like you. All these experts predicted that one thing, and everybody went back and started scrambling and readjusting their predictions. But yeah, I mean, it's going to continue. They're saying home sales are going to rebound next year, and we're going to probably see somewhat of a leveling off, maybe with the rates or whatever, but values are definitely not dropping. And the builders they're building. So
Yeah,
wherever
and
they can
remember,
find land.
yeah, and remember, when we're talking locally. We're speaking of our local market. When we're giving you this data and we're giving you these predictions. So keep that in mind. That real estate is always hyper local. What's going on in your community may not be what's going on in the rest of the world or rest of the country. So you got to also know what's going on in your county, Prince William County, and there's a lot of new construction coming up in our county. There's a lot of building going on. They're building, some builders somehow they finding little parcels of land and they're putting houses on it. So new construction, I believe next year we're going to see some more new construction pop up in some areas that we didn't even think of that's going to pop up. But but prices are going to remain, I think, pretty steady. If you're overpriced, as a seller, do not overprice. Do not overprice. Now is not the time to overprice, because you will sit there. You're going to sit, no matter, unless your house is in a category that's just really wanted, people are slower to come off the fence. It will sell, but just, I think, a little slower.
Okay. So overall, just to recap, locally, you feel like you have to price a home desirably to be able to sell it. But I feel like overall, and maybe Jen, you could speak to this from the realtor spot, that the days on market might be longer just in general. Is that fair to say?
Oh, that's very much fair to say. Absolutely. We can definitely see that the days on market has absolutely increased. In fact, for Prince William County, if we're talking year over year,
yes,
the average days on market is about 25%. So we're looking at average days on market right now are 18 days, which is definitely up from 25% from last year, October.
So
I mean, and if you remember,
okay,
more days on market, absolutely. And I mean, because think about it, last year, I think around this time of when we started, the rumors and all that about the rates starting to go up, and that's when we see everything going. Because let's face it, real estate is cyclical, period. It's also seasonal, and so if you're not under contract by now, because you've been sitting on the market, you might as well, not hold your breath and let a miracle happen. You get a wonderful cash buyer that comes through and that's able to close before or by the end of the year, because we've got to factor in the holidays that take place in this month. But things are definitely longer on market. And to Nikita's point, You've got to be realistic with pricing your home. Listen to the professional that you hired, especially one like Markita or myself, that's going to educate you on the market and help you understand how to navigate. Just because you want a certain price doesn't mean you won't get there. Um, but overpricing it is not the answer.
Also,
Okay.
don't forget, next year is what? What's next year? It's an election year.
So that is one of the questions. Is great timing that you bring that up. Next year is an election year. Do you think that will affect the market in our area, DMV?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We see it in I think in everybody's market, but I mean, I can't speak for anyone else's market. Nikita, you can talk about this, and you as well, Markita, but absolutely. I also believe, with all the different government influences that we do have around here, and we'll see some changes, obviously, because just like with the gas prices, we've got to look at, now this gets a little bit beyond this conversation, but when we talk about understanding the GDP, understanding the employment and all of that. And with this being going into an election year, I'm sure there are some manipulation, I guess, for lack of a better word, to entice people to maybe sway them one way or the other when it comes to our political people or who's in office or where we're going. So that's just my opinion. I absolutely do. I do think it's going to affect the market in our area.
Because even if the rates drop, think about this, guys. Even if the rate dropped down to a 6 would be, which sounds really good right now, even if it dropped down that low and you have buyers coming out of the woodworks competing again, the bottom line is inventory is still very low, and people are going to be less likely to give up that $50,000, $100,000 to get that appraisal gap. I think during the pandemic, it was a frenzy, but I don't think that that's going to happen again. I think some things are just once in a lifetime. I don't think people are going to be so willing to write that $100,000 check for the difference. And that's why another reason why I think that new construction is going to be popular. I tried to get my client in the new constructions over on 234. The lady still hasn't called me, and I'm on the VIP list. And she said it's that many people on the list. And there's only 35 lots, I
It's
believe.
not many. Yeah, it's a small community.
So my client probably won't get one, but I'm still hopeful. But the
Well,
demand.
it's great. It's great. And honestly, my personal opinion is if you can get them in, I think new construction is probably going to be the way going into this year. Like you working with buyers and trying to find the home. The supply and demand is definitely still in effect, which goes to what you mentioned, Kita, early on at the beginning of this broadcast, is supply and demand is definitely an issue, which means we don't have the inventory. We don't have the inventory, and people are they're holding on to those interest rates. For those that don't need to sell, and for those that may want to, again, are even considering, and if they're in a position, just go ahead and holding on to that property and purchasing and using, either leveraging their equity and renting that out and trying to find something differently. But the inventory is very low, and therefore, we just don't have it out there. So again, going back to the new construction is definitely the way to go if you can find it.
Which is why I said that, in prefacing it earlier, that I found it funny about saying the market was going to crash, because it was a macro headline, and everything about real estate is local to the point of hyper local. For instance, someone living right in the community next to me might be seeing some decline or stagflation as far as how much their home is appreciating versus the community that I'm in, and we're less than 1 mile apart as far as the communities are concerned. So it's just very careful not to read into those macro headlines. However, I think one macro thing that will actually affect everybody, even micro, if, of course, is an election year. So yes,
Yeah.
Alan, it will have an effect. The effect that we've seen before is that they've tried to do everything they can to make it right. So this
Make it
might
right.
be an opportunity year again for some people. We have seen that leads me into this some data anyway, in general, that mortgage applications, after we hit our 8% moniker and everybody died and came back to life, um, mortgage applications are up 4 weeks in a row, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. Right. So what
But
that
that's
means is that
nationally.
that's nationally. So, I mean, okay, so I'll break it back down. That just means that more people are applying because they understand, hey, the rates have dropped. Now it's time for me to get back out there. So that's when I'm like, there's truly a price to waiting, because it ends up being more competition. I don't care how much they're building new construction. You're not going to be able to keep up with the demand, especially coming behind an election year. So why did the mortgage applications go up? Because rates have dropped for 4 weeks in a row, like the age of people 4 weeks in a row, right? So we've seen those rates drop, and people have decided that they have to go ahead and take advantage of it now. So yeah, oh my God, 7% bad. And then they found out, oh my goodness, 8% is horrible. So right now, the national average on rates are about stabilizing at 7.15 and dropping. So I do feel like as we get into this election year where things are just a little interesting, that we will see more downward pressure. Inflation is cooling off, which is what we wanted to see. And when that happens, mortgage rates tend to drop and more people will be out and about looking. So locally, I do think we will see an uptick in that, right? I mean, and when we say it's local, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and with that said, I think people are also realizing that this is the new norm. So as you started again, the beginning, everybody was freaking out, thinking that the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Well, it's not. The values are not going down, but rates, right, like you said, they've come down, which is awesome. So yes, that uptick I think is due to that, but also I believe that folks are starting to settle in and realize those 3, 2, 3, and 4%, that's not happening anymore, and folks still need to leave. So this is our new normal.
This is our new normal. And here's my challenge. I wanted to pull up a screen. I wanted to pull up a real estate report card, and I may forego that this morning, but I wanted to give context around that. So locally, we were talking, and Jennifer, you might can pull up your data back and just kind of talk through this, but where I live in Prince William County, we're up 8.5% year over year on the sales price. The sales prices are up 8.5% in a year that had an 8% interest rate. So what that actually tells me or shows me is that affordability locally is still going to continue to be an option, and that we are going to have to be creative, not only as families looking to move, but we're going to have to be creative as real estate professionals as well, because 8.5% year over year in a year that was supposed to be doom and gloom. Yeah, there's
But Markita, you said something key, creative. That's why you need the team. You need the right team between your loan officer and your real estate professional, Jennifer and Nikita, because you need somebody that knows how to navigate creativity to keep these deals together. We just had an incident in my office where, because an agent, sometimes they just don't know how to be creative and keep deals together to make it a win-win. So your team is important. So I like that word. Being creative is going to be key.
So that's Kikita. You said something earlier about being creative, since we were talking about Prince William County, and we briefly touched on this on the last episode, where I said that there's going to be a movement towards multi-generational, family type of living. Give us some context behind that here locally on the information that you found out here recently.
Well, Prince William County actually just approved recently ADUs, which is accessory dwelling unit, to be on lots. So you can, which means essentially you can build another house on your lot. Oh,
wow.
For people to live in.
I was thinking
it can be a garage apartment.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah, I
thought
mean, I'm sorry, affordable dwelling unit. What did I
Okay,
say?
okay.
You said
Accessory, but either
accessory
way,
dwelling. I
Okay.
was like, do I
A-
need to Google that? Okay, no, you're good.
nah, it's
Okay.
all good.
Affordable
Affordable
dwelling.
accessory.
So they can be, it is an accessory, right? But it's a necessity. And that's going to be one thing that I think personally is going to be, we're going to see a lot of that in the future. So if you can find a way to get in front of that now, you can bring value, also more value to your home, because that's going to be something that people are going to be looking for.
Yeah.
And you can,
That's
rent that out to a multi-generation family where you have the husband and wife and you're kind of sandwiched. So if you're a sandwich, your husband and wife, and then you got a set of parents, and then you have small kids, yet you have a job. The best thing to do is bring everybody together under one roof or under one property and make it work for everybody. And there
Yeah.
have been statistics that have proven that when you do have grandparents in the home, actually children tend to thrive. If it's nice and balanced, the children
mm,
tend to thrive a little more with older grandparents in the home.
mm-hmm,
Wow,
mm-hmm,
that's awesome, actually.
Mhm.
So
And it's interesting, and I don't have all the data. I wish I had thought about this earlier when you brought it up. But Alexandria has also made an improvement. They're expanding as well for more affordable housing in the
Yes.
city of Alexandria. So that is I can share the
I
data
think
for anyone who's
Alexandria has
interested in
always
it.
been on the edge of that. They've been
Hmm.
always on the cutting edge of
Kind of on the
trying to
forefront of that.
find, forefront of affordable housing.
well,
Yeah.
I would sure hope
Absolutely.
so. Them little houses, row houses look like whatever cost $1 million. I would
Yeah.
hope you are on the
Right.
cusp of something
History.
affordable in
They're
that place. Jesus
historic. They're
Christ.
historic homes,
Oh,
like dating back to
my
the
bad, my
18th
bad. Historic
century.
home.
So they're
Right.
preserving it. I agree though, Markita. And then you got the water coupled,
The
it's
water.
off
Oh,
the water and then the
oh,
history. And you put those two together, you
okay.
definitely gonna have
Yeah,
uh
yeah. I'm gonna need y'all to stay at the whole forefront to the forefront of everything with when it's going down like that in Alexandria. God
exactly,
bless
Yeah.
it. So,
exactly.
Alexandria. Yeah.
and
Alexandria, Arlington, Crystal
that's
City.
the crisis in America. Really is
It is.
affordability right now, and of course that affects us locally. So kudos to Prince William County, and I joke,
Yeah.
but yes to Alexandria to work on actual affordable options, even from the loan perspective. Conventional loans now have allowed it that you can do conventional financing with the dwelling on the back with as little as
Absolutely.
5% down. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
in the back.
yeah.
So
We
I'm
talked
out here
about that.
looking
Yeah.
at the window right now at this
Oh,
little
I'm loving
shed.
it.
I'm gonna see
See if I
what I
got
can
enough
do.
room.
Yeah,
Hey, that's one of the it could be a
I'm looking
tiny
out here at
house.
the shed. I'm thinking,
Rent it out, tiny house. But
yeah,
here's the
tiny
thing.
house
One
style.
thing we know that one thing is for
Alexandria
sure, you
approved the
cannot.
tiny houses.
What they?
Yes.
Yeah,
Alexandria approved tiny houses.
Well, this is the thing. We can build houses, but the thing we cannot build more land. And
Yeah.
that's the challenge. So yeah, let's get some tiny houses on these little teeny little slots or lots where Kita, you can
I think
borrow
I feel
back and
like I
forth
might be
between your
renting over
neighbors.
here.
You
Because
could
right
be
now, the only thing that live in my backyard are deers, raccoons,
Fox.
groundhogs. We had Frederica the fox. I mean, it's straight foolishness. So I at least should be getting some rent since these these
Hey,
things are living back there. So I like that a lot
yeah.
as an option to help with affordability here locally. So
Well,
my
and people because they
overall
can't afford it, which is why they're running to rental. So again, you're right, Keita. I'm with you on that for sure. Whatever
right.
we can do to make housing more affordable and available to those that need homes.
But one thing I know for sure, and you can take this to the bank. If you save, no unnecessary spending, discipline, and save some more. If you want to reach your goal and you purpose in your heart and your mind to do that, it will happen.
That part.
Well, I
100%.
appreciate Keita always brings us back. Like you need to
She
say,
does.
she always comes right back in with that little financial tidbit. Like, hold up,
Yeah.
Slim. I need you to stop it with the Starbucks. Cut it out with the crumble cookies.
That's
Yes.
it.
Cut it out
Oh,
with the
somebody likes
DoorDash.
crumble cookies.
Yeah,
Those little things add up.
they absolutely
They
do.
do.
I'm guilty.
Absolutely.
I don't like crumble cookies, but I have some definitely things that I could cut back on. And one way to house hack, or not house hack, a savings hack to actually do that, if someone's looking to buy into the new year's, is, hey, if you're paying $2,000, if you're paying $2,500 and you desire to own a home, and maybe the mortgage now is going to be $3,000 or $3,500, starting at the new year, when you pay that rent of $2,000, you need to take that extra $1,000 and transfer that into like a high yield savings. You got Sophie, you got some of these other places out here, Capital One. Transfer that, do it every month. Like, pay yourself first, pay the rent, but pay yourself
Marquita,
first.
you
So
saying
we
you
go with the
preaching.
$3,000 and we see how that goes right now. That might see if it makes you be, are you going to be super pressed? Are you going to have withdrawals because you do need to cut some back? Or maybe you're going to be just fine. But psychologically, if you do that for 6 months, two things are happening at the same time. You're getting yourself ready for an increased housing payment, but you're also fast tracking your savings. So it's almost as if you're paying a mortgage anyway. So that is a little that you can actually put in place to prepare to be a homeowner in 2024. So if you want to do more in 2024, there's your little house hack, not a house hack, but a savings hack that, you know, you can figure it out. And I say that, and then I will stop talking, is because psychologically, I literally had someone pull out of a contract who had a very similar scenario. They were paying $2,100 in rent. The mortgage was going up to about $3,200. Can't remember exactly, whatever. And we literally got 1 week before closing, and she was just like, I can't see myself doing this.
Wow.
And pulled out the
That's
contract.
really sad.
Earnest money lost, time lost.
Wow.
People's house off the market. And she was just like, I can't see myself doing it.
Mindset.
So this is one way to, get yourself together first. It was mindset, right? So I was like, man, and you don't know the struggle we went through to get this person into the house in general. So I was like, this just is a mindset overall of somebody that just has a mindset of renting or not ownership, and maybe just has a self-worth issue. Right.
That's the part that really, but it also speaks on so many things, which we've now pretty much run out of time. But talk about the affordability piece. I mean, maybe we need to carry this on, next year, because that right there is very real. And that's what we're looking at going into it. I mean, we've already talked about their communities being built specifically for rentals because people can't afford. But it also talks about the fixed mindset. You said it, it's a mindset. If you bottom line, get yourself together where you can be in a position of thinking of growth mindset and building wealth, generational wealth, and then being able to, there's so much you can do with that $3,200 payment. I get it. That's a huge jump. That's an additional $1,000, $1,100 from what you said what she was paying in rent. But nonetheless, get yourself together. And let's focus on the growth mindset instead of fixed, because my God, that's how we're going to keep people down if we can't help educate and then they can grow, not just for themselves, but also lay a foundation for their family or those around them that they influence. I'm gonna stop there because I can keep going down that hole. But good one, ladies.
We
Good
mentioned
one.
that mindset thing last week. That piece is huge. That's a huge
So I think
piece.
we have our show topic for next month is the mindset
Fixed versus
of ownership.
growth.
But one thing though, I think that sometimes we aren't taught, because I've went to a lot of seminars after seminars, and I've gone to financial seminars, and I hear a lot of wealthy people always say, oh, they toss out the word budget. They tell people not to budget. But if I'm starting out and I'm learning how to work my money, I need a budget. I need to count every dollar to see exactly where my money is going. But there comes a time when you got your finances in order, you're investing, and you got money coming in. When my money comes in, still my first money is going to go to making sure my investments are still funded. And then whatever I got left over, okay, I may not have to budget that. But right now, if I don't have a house, I need to be counting every dollar. I need to know where it goes. And that's why, you know, like Jennifer, Markita, myself, we want to see you win. We want to see you win.
That's why we do this.
That's why we do this.
Yeah.
But do you
So
want to
that's
see you win? That's the real
so I'm
question.
getting off. I'm off my soapbox. Until
Folks,
next
but do
time.
I
you
think this is a
want to
great
win?
topic to continue next week, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for look at Christian. Make that money. Who is that budget?
That's the heart.
Absolutely,
Ooh.
100%. Thank you for sure.
You know, the iPhone had an update. If you do like that, it'll give you some heartbeats.
Oh, wow.
Did y'all know that?
My heart is
I don't
beat
do
up with this
iPhone.
broke finger, but
Markita, you got an iPhone?
nah.
Oh,
This is my
Markita,
tech,
that was
my tech,
sweet. Right
Lord.
back
my
at
tech.
you.
If anybody watching that has an iPhone, this is my tech tip of the week. If they had an update,
the
if you
month.
FaceTime somebody and you make a heart, it'll show the hearts coming from your heart.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So
that's so
cool.
That's
cool.
crazy. That's dope, but that's kind of scary too.
AI,
It's
baby.
all in your
AI is
business,
doing its
huh?
thing.
All
It's
in my
in your
business.
business. I didn't let it
But I'm
go.
just
I
gonna do
have
this.
given up.
I'm gonna give y'all all the fist bump. Like we can fist bump. Jen, give us
I
the
was doing
fist
the
bump.
heart.
We're
I
gonna
love
end
y'all.
this session. Thanks.
I love
I
y'all.
heart y'all too.
Boom.
But yeah.
Yes. Thank y'all for joining us. Come back next year. Happy New Year. We wish you guys
Happy
a
New
very
Year.
happy holiday. Everything, whatever you celebrate, you know, we just wish you and your family peace, love, and blessings and prosperity. Stay tuned for the New Year episode. We're getting into that mindset, girl, ladies. I think that's so important. Let's start the year off right.
I think that's everything. And shameless plug here before we do that. I'm having a free masterclass on Thursday from 6:30 to 7 o'clock. That's right. It's 30 minutes. We're not in here playing around. You can sign up at dropyourlandlord.com. That's dropyourlandlord.com. So I'm trying to help you fire these jokers in 2024. And I'm going to be coming with hot fire, nothing but gems, no fluff, no BS on the mindset, what you need to do to win. And it doesn't matter if you're working with me or not. I'm getting this information out. This is my way of giving back.
Critical.
Like you said, because we really do want to see you win. And this will be my last class that I will be doing for the year. So dropyourlandlord.com.
Where can they find us? Are you doing it virtually? How can they log in?
I'm sorry. This is a virtual free masterclass. So they can find me from the comfort of their home, their cell phone, their iPad, or whatever other device that they actually have. So dropyourlandlord.com, get some information you need to start off right with the right mindset of home ownership in 2024.
I think that's perfect. And you know what? I'm sorry. You're right. One last plug. Guys, this is that season. We are running a Toys for Tots. Thanks to everybody that did participate in the food drive that we did just a couple weeks ago. But for those of you who would like to please participate, let's help bless a child this year. We have a drop-off location. Just DM me. It's in Southbridge, and I also have one at 2121 Eisenhower for those of you that are in the Alexandria, Northern Virginia area. What is the address for River Ridge? It's at off of River Ridge Boulevard in Alexandria. Is it River Ridge?
No, that's in Dumfries, right?
That's in Dumfries. I'm sorry.
That's in Dumfries.
Dumfries. We've got a box there. We've got a box in Alexandria. Just private message me. The deadline is the 8th. So next week, that's it. Bring an unwrapped toy, new toy for a child.
I'll make sure I will.
I appreciate it. It's right at the community center. And I apologize. I should have had this, but just be sure if you're on our Facebook, it's on our page where you can drop them off. And we really appreciate that. But again, don't forget Markita, her class, it's so in line and it's so necessary. Let's talk about mindset and generational wealth. I mean, let's be real. Home ownership is usually one of the largest investments that most people will make, and it can change the destiny of those that are connected to you, your children, and the rest of your family. That's all I got, ladies. What's up with you?
All right. Thanks for sharing that, Christian. Appreciate you. All right. See y'all.
Appreciate you. Oh, thank you, Christian. Okay, yeah, the address is in there, 17325 River Ridge Boulevard in Dumfries. All right.
We got our new admin. I appreciate you. We got our new admin. Thanks, girl.
We love you, girl. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one, and we're out.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Happy holidays. Bye-bye.
Thank you.